Hi, it's Penny Bowden here. I have an exercise for you that's designed to be a fun little warm-up, and we will be using this leaf. So this leaf is not quite in as good of shape. When I first picked it, it's a little bit wilted, it's lost some water, but I can put a bit of life back into it by the way I draw it too, so I'm not worried about that. First, I want to spend a bit of time observing it. Just noticing the shape. I notice that if I put it back here, so it's not folded, it's more of an, it's really an kind of an upside down teardrop shape if I don't include this split here. And we'll do it in this position just to keep it simple. So I'm observing, I'm noticing these lines are a bit wowed. That allows for some of the wrinkle in the leaf, the folding in the leaf. It's folded back here a bit, and the veins, the secondary veins, come from this central point where the stem joins the leaf. So more than anything, that's what I'm getting out of it. The shape, the upside down teardrop shape, the flow of these secondary veins, which kind of come from here, and they also all head down to this point here. So while I'm observing, I'm memorizing. And I like to say observe rather than look, because to look is just to look. To observe is to notice those things I've just pointed out. So spend your time observing, and in that way you'll be practicing your drawing even when you're not drawing. So now I just want to set the leaf aside. And I'm going to go by memory here, but not absolutely from memory. I'm going to take glances at the leaf too. Don't feel that you have to put yourself in rigid rules. While you do this, your memory will be growing stronger, but don't ever think that you're above doing some more observing once in a while too. Do what works for you. So now I'm just pausing for a minute and allowing my intuition to kick in. Getting away from thinking that this has to be perfect, that I have to have every line correct, I have to have the exact shape correct. If you get hung up on that, you cloud your mind with it and you don't allow room for your intuition to come in and help work for you. So put it aside, keep it, in your peripheral vision, glance at it now and then, but don't get too hung up on making it look exact. So I'm allowing my intuition to kick in here and decide where I want to start on this page and just get the feel of that upside down teardrop shape to start with before I even put any mark on the paper. And I'm going to do it very lightly to start with. So that's a bit of an upside down teardrop shape, and I know you probably can't see it real well. I can't either, but I don't want to do it too dark because then it's difficult to correct. So we'll take another glance at the leaf. One thing I want you to notice is where this split comes. Sometimes I measure, I don't rule anything out, especially when I'm helping beginners. So from there to there, that split is about a third the way down, and a common mistake of beginners is to put something like that way too far to the top. So about there, and that's going to be about that spot where the stem comes in. And again, getting perfection out of my mind, allowing intuition to kick in and guide me. I just want to get the flow of that going up there before I put it down, and I just want to get it in quickly and expressionistically. So there it is. And then the second one doesn't have to be exactly the same as this one. Ideally, it will be different to give some character. So get the feel of it. So there's my upside down teardrop shape with a split. And I think I'm just going to spend some time going around the outside edges now. Getting those wows in there. Give a bit of a character curl to the tip. So there's the lovely shape of that leaf. So I like to call these simple flowing lines. And the simple means that you're not worrying about every little dip and point being exactly the same. Keep it simple, get the idea, get the feeling of it. Simple flowing lines for character, life, and movement. Because those kind of give character, they help with movement, and the movement helps with life. We've got the odd extra line here. That's okay. They actually help add a bit of movement. And if I go over my lines here again, and I stray off the lines in the odd place, then it helps add a bit of movement, and it just looks like a little bit of a folded up bit. And those veins, the main vein comes from here where the stem joins, and you know, I can look at it and see the exact shape of it, but I want to get away from that. What I know is it comes from there to there, and there are spots where it's not quite as visible because the light's hitting it. So I just want to get the smooth flow of it and, you know, get a nice feeling. So I like that. And then all those other veins coming out, the secondary veins, and what they do here on this particular leaf is they kind of follow up here and then come out here. So keeping a heavy hand in some spots and lighter in other, because ideally I will allow some spots where it doesn't show, which would be where the light's hitting it. And it's going to be different on each side. So I'm not worrying about where it's not showing here, because that just looks like a nice light spot. And as I'm doing this, I'm warming up my drawing hand, I'm warming up my drawing mind. That stem comes from here. Might see a bit of it there, going down towards the ground if the leaf was planted, if the leaf was coming from a plant. So it's a really, really good warm-up to do this, and then it can help you evolve towards other subjects too, which we'll get onto in just a sec here. And when it comes to some of these shapes, for example, this is a bit more square shaped up here, it just looks like the leaves folded over a bit that way. So this would be the leaf folded right flat, and this would be it folded over that way a bit. And all these just look like a bit of how the leaf is a bit wowed. Now I could carry this further, I could turn it into a whole drawing of a plant, but this is just a quick exercise to get your wrist moving, to get your mind working, to get your observation skills working, to understand how memory and observation work together. And then once you've warmed up all those things, you can put them to practice doing other subjects too. For example, a tree. So again, I'll allow I'm using memory here because I'm always out in trees, I'm always observing trees, so I'm just thinking about trees, envisioning them in my mind, allowing my intuition to kick in instead of clouding my mind with perfection, and just thinking about the flow of a tree trunk. And in this case it'll be an aspen tree, which I'm very used to. Just get the feel of it first. again, the same simple flowing lines to help form that trunk, and I can go back over them again, and I don't have to stick to the same lines if I don't want to. And in this case, they won't look like folded up bits like they did on the leaf, but they'll just give a bit of movement. Maybe look like some natural scarring on the trees. Which I can add some indirectly too if I want, like this. Yeah, and I'm aiming for kind of a bit of a gnarly tree here with some character. That's what really comes from getting away from perfection, is you end up getting way more character. You get more of your personality in it once you let that intuition in and working for you. That looks a bit funny there, but that's okay. Perfection, expectations of perfection just really mess things up a lot. You make the artist tense, and that tension shows with stiff lines that look rather lifeless. Feeling like I want this trunk mostly blackened in. Because I wanted to separate it from the background, which I wasn't really feeling like it was being separated from the background. I'm not really feeling it's looking real aspeny, but that's okay, it's a tree. Some grass, some quick impressionistic grass with loose flowing lines. Maybe some shrubbery growing up beside it. So there's a quick little tree, which I use the same skills for as I did with the leaf. Or another thing I do from memory lots is cats. So again, I'm just going to pause and let my intuition kick in and just get the feel of the top of the cat's head, some ears. Quick flowing lines to get some character into it. Going totally from memory here. Not too detailed of a nose, because that's not what I want. You can darken up some of these important lines. The classic M on the cat's forehead can help with expression too. So that's another direction you could take. And those same quick flicky lines that I got for the secondary veins in the leaf make great lines for whiskers. You know, get the feel of it first. And you notice I don't have any lines on the side of the cat's face. This is just a quick sketch and it's just part of this simple exercise, so I'm not going to get too detailed on this. But I like it the way it is. You can say a lot with just a few lines. So that kind of shows how you're, from a simple leaf drawing, focusing on the shape of the leaf and the flow of the veins, can warm you up and help you build skills for all subject areas. And of course, trees and cats are only two of the directions you could go in. So if you want to carry those skills a little bit farther and learn more about how you can get your artist intuition working for you, help yourself become the artist that you want to be, the artist you were meant to be, then I would strongly encourage you to sign up for my new course, The Fundamentals of Drawing Success, which you will find at learn.pennybowden.ca. If you're an email subscriber, you'll have a link in one of the recent emails you got from me to save 25% on the course, and that discount lasts until the end of April 2017. And right now I'm also learning how to use a camera for live streaming, so I'm hoping to see you for some live online lessons in the near future here. Thanks for joining me.